For Panthers Fans Only is a sports podcast intended for mature audiences and contains profanity as well as extremely spirited conversation. What you see and hear are the sole opinions and depictions of each individual, not at all inclusive of the entire cast or any guests associated with our show. Thanks for tuning in, and always remember to stand on business.
I mean, I just have so many things to say, but I guess I'll just keep it to myself.
Probably for the best.
Richer than the richest.
Yeah.
More money, bitches.
Coming to you live from
I wanted to press that jump so much.
the city of Houston, Atlanta, Vegas.
So what it do, young nigga? 100.
I am on a 24-hour champagne diet, spilling while I'm sipping. I encourage you to try it.
Welcome.
Cause I don't have to
We only got 2 episodes remaining in this season. I'm just letting y'all know right now. Been going since what, March last year?
Don't want me to be
March or February? No, not February. March. Wait, what was it? Was it February?
Come take a look.
Maybe February. Almost 12 months straight.
And try and gas me up.
Content every single week.
On E,
How long
Sabbatical.
Goofy flow on records. I'm Captain Hook in my new
Still new content coming on the way though, for sure.
roof. Just go. I'm somebody that you should.
FPFO the season 4 is coming to an end for sure.
Drummer produced it for. Yes, I make mistakes that I don't ever make excuses for, like leaving girls that love me and constantly seducing hoes. I'm losing my thoughts. I said, damn, where my roof just go? Top slipped off like Janet at the Super Bowl. I can't help it.
Welcome to 4 Panthers Fans Only.
Since I got famous, for business, I got money to blow, getting it in, letting these bills fall over your
Why you
skin.
keep beating your mic? Just talking to the mic.
I had to make sure that shit was right.
It's right. You've been beating it the last 5 minutes, Paul. That was a shakeable head of fish. Why? I said pause.
Richer than the richest. We
I just wouldn't
certified
have said it.
CM, YM,
I mean,
cash
yeah, you say you know
business.
my.
Higher than the ceiling. Fly like a bird. Hit the Gucci stove and later
We're gonna let the music rock for a second.
We smoked out with no roof on
I
it.
really want to hear Wayne's verse, to be honest.
So we smash on. Binding out, we keep the cash on
The
deck.
music is too loud. Y'all need to let us know in the comments. I don't think it's gonna change anything,
Louis
but
iced up.
maybe it will.
Black diamonds, Cartier,
Ferrari, the new Spider.
No lie, I'm higher than I ever been.
Shout out Jello.
Born rich,
He just needed the FPFO stamp. That's what it was.
fully low,
$8 million deal guaranteed.
6 bins.
$13 million in incentives.
Ice with my bitch in. Born
Nigga got a 2-year running back deal
nigga to size me up.
off a hook.
Starting more money, burning.
Shit made me want to go get in the movie. No cap.
Hey, where you at?
I already got all the equipment. I know how to mix it a little bit. I know how to make the preset.
But do the words make sense?
Oh, they gonna make sense for a shit show. We can do a Carolina Panthers content creator rap battle, cypher type.
Well, I get paid
Whoa!
every 24 hours. Money in the power. Come to VIP and get a champagne shower. I don't
That's how I felt in the Win nightclub,
bang hours.
in the Win Field
Okay,
Club.
of marriage.
We smell the
Was
grass.
that kush? I promise that's my dude, but we don't smoke that.
I had to watch
Reggie.
that video back the other day too.
And I'm with 2 women.
I mean, my God.
Second left.
There's a lot of parts of that day that I just simply don't even remember.
We never shook. And we gon' be alright if we put Drake on every day.
Welcome. Welcome to our 2024-2025 Carolina Panthers award ceremony. Shout out Dunk. I think Dunk did the first award ceremony this year. Shout out Dunk. And yeah, welcome to 4 Panthers Fans Only. If you don't already, make sure to tap in with us on social media. Like I said, we will be going away for about a month or so. FPFO will be going away for a little while. Our annual break, the end of season 4. That is coming next week, or it starts in 2 weeks. So make sure to tap in with us on social media. We'll still be doing giveaways. We'll still be doing bracket challenges. We'll still what?
It's been a long ass 4 years, boy. Oh my god. Oh my god.
Nigga talking about it's been a long 4 years. Like he ain't just joined the damn set last year. You only been gone for a year, nigga. Literally to the date, a year.
No.
No,
Maybe
2
with
years.
a
2
mic.
years. I'm sorry, 2 years. 2 years. 2 years. He ain't even been going 4 years. You talking about it's been a long 4 years.
But
He ain't even been going 4 years.
I still had to listen before I had to produce. Hey, my god.
But yeah, tap in with us on social media at For Panthers Fans Only on Instagram and TikTok. Even though TikTok is about to get clipped, I don't know because I don't know because bro said he gonna have to see what he can make happen, and just based on what I done seen him do in the past, anything is possible. I'll just say that anything is possible. If not, find us on Lemonade. I think that's the name of the new joint, Lemonade.
And there was some other Red Note. Yeah.
Red Note, Blue Sky, Blue Ski, whatever the fuck it's called. We don't got Blue Ski in the other joint. Red Note, I don't know. This is my first time hearing
So
about
we just
Red
got
Note.
Lemonade.
Yeah. That's the only one I seen. That's the only one I heard
That's the
of.
new shit everybody's migrating to.
Yeah.
So the whole reason they was getting rid of TikTok was because they didn't want U.S. data on Chinese servers. So everybody who is on TikTok that don't fuck with that notion that that's the reason they're getting rid of TikTok went straight to a Chinese developed app on Chinese servers.
Oh.
Just as a fuck 'em. So, and they've been chatting it up with the Chinese citizens over there because their app.
And that's what Lemonade is?
Nah, that's Red Note. That shit, even in the App Store, that shit is like Mandarin characters.
I couldn't even. I was like, "What is this?" I seen the top two up there, but I was like, "I don't even know
what
the
is
top
Red
one
Note."
It's Chinese TikTok, run by the Chinese government.
Oh yeah. Nah, I think I'm gonna stay off of that probably. But I mean, more power to y'all if that's what y'all choose to do. But yeah, and then follow us on X at FPFO_podcast. You can always find us at the G2S Network. If you want to go back and listen to episodes throughout the season and just kind of relive the ups and downs of the year, obviously you can find us on all DSPs at For Panthers Fans Only as well. Go on Google, search For Panthers Fans Only. I promise we'll pop up. We got a couple of big things in the works that we're working on currently. So, a lot of our content as well as some other things that we're working on will be a lot more accessible here within the next couple of months. So just make sure you're tuned in. Just make sure you're tuned in and, be one of the first ones on the wave before it pops. That's my intro for the day. Gentlemen, good evening. How are you doing?
I'm doing good. I'm ready for this week to be over already. And it just started.
It just started.
Yeah, I know. I was tired as fuck this morning. I don't know why. But yeah, I'm ready for it to be over.
You didn't have a good day? You're always the jolly one.
The day was just, it's a full moon today. So that described the day I had.
Okay.
It's a lot of
I don't really know
bullshit
much.
going
I don't really know much about that kind of stuff.
Just when full moons happen, people just get on a lot of fuck shit.
I feel like that's every day of my life that I wake up.
Self-inflicted. No, that shit don't have nothing to do with the moon. But nah, I'm having a good day, man. Good week. It's gonna be a good week. Solid weekend. Ready to get to it. Ready to give out these awards.
Yeah.
I got some people I want to put on blast, but we'll reserve it. It's not in the what color blue is this? What's the shade of blue? Growl blue. Process blue.
Process. Yeah.
That shit. It's not. It's
Growl blue.
Yeah, whatever the fuck it's called. It's more for them niggas in the silver and navy that I got some balls to pick with.
Oh, okay.
But
Understood. Yeah, that whole situation was. I mean,
if y'all thought I dragged EJ's name through the dirt last week, wait till you. If you ever got to hear what I have to say about Dak and Jerry,
I just don't really
Dak
understand.
catching the streak?
because
They fired the coach.
God. I've already
He's
got
just
beef
sad,
with him.
bro.
I already
He's
got
just
beef with
sad.
him.
It's
a
honestly,
long-standing beef.
He has
I hate
beef
him.
with Dak because of me. Like
No.
that's it. That's
No,
like
it's not.
that's the foundation of it. He
That shit
hated
has
Dak
no-
ever since
if
like
JJ didn't exist, I
love-
would hate Dak Prescott. It's that simple.
It just doesn't really make any logical sense. And the thing that I've always asked him is just to please name me 9.
He's fucking
Right? Because
he's sorry.
because this is the thing, right? Because he'll say this and that, he's sorry, he's this and that. Cool. So I just ask, okay, well, just name me 9 starting quarterbacks in the NFL right now that you would rather have over Dak. And I started it for him this afternoon, as you saw in our group chat, right? By saying Joe, Lamar, Pat,
Because we always
and
go in
Josh.
this cycle, and then I name somebody, and he's like,
Right?
no.
So then we're like,
no,
so
no.
But my whole
That's
thing
what
is
he
he can't name 5 better right now that he would prefer to have.
I can.
Okay, I would like for you to do it. If you don't mind, I'm giving you the floor for the next
Pat,
90.
Josh, Joe,
I already gave you
Lamar,
those 4.
Jaden. I'd rather have Bryce. Yeah, I would rather have Bryce.
See?
I'm
But
crazy
then
for
we just-
saying that.
and then
I'm
we
crazy
just
for
don't
saying
have
that.
realistic
That's not
conversations,
realistic.
bro.
That is
So
realistic.
this
A
is-
younger quarterback.
This is when I
a
start
younger
making those
quarterback
noises.
who's more
those,
talented. Again, a younger quarterback who's more talented and not being paid
more-
the highest.
Can I ask you a question? Can we go slow? More talented? How so?
Bryce, there's a reason Bryce was the number 1 overall pick and Dak was a 4th round pick.
And came in and instantly won the Rookie of the Year. While
Not
Bryce,
off the
given
fucking,
the situation,
off the fucking coattail of Zeke Elliott, who should have won Rookie of the Year. Go back and look at the fucking numbers. Go back and watch
I'm
the
aware
fucking
of
games.
the numbers. I'm aware of the
Zeke
games.
Elliott should have been Rookie of the Year. That offense ran the way it did because of Zeke Elliott. Dak is only good when we run the fucking ball, which to me can be damn near any quarterback because you just watch Cooper Rush do it. When we run the fucking ball, Cooper Rush looked serviceable. So if you run the fucking ball, Dak then looks serviceable because Dak is a fucking serviceable quarterback. So again, I'd rather have Bryce. I'd rather have Jaden Daniels. I would rather have Josh. I'd rather have Joe. I'd rather have Lamar. I would rather have CJ. Or do we want to make some noise for that? No. Oh, okay, cool.
I mean, no,
I'd rather
but,
have.
like,
I
that's
would.
not you
I would
saying
rather
Bryce.
have. I would
Like,
rather
that's
have.
not you saying Bryce, but okay,
I would rather have
continue.
Baker. I would rather have.
Even
do we
after,
want to make? Do
even
we want to
after
make some more
Baker
noise?
nutted yesterday.
Yeah, even
Okay,
after Baker
continue.
nutted,
Go
because
ahead.
really you could put that on
Go ahead.
McCollin,
No, you
McLaughlin,
can't.
whatever
No,
the
you
fuck his
can't.
name
Not
was.
when the nigga goes to the sideline, watches the iPad, and starts beating his chest, saying that he fucked it off. So no, you can't
Okay,
put that
cool.
on McMillan.
Yeah,
Continue.
also I can watch Dak throw a bunch of picks in the playoff
Okay.
game, and
Continue.
but whatever.
When his receivers aren't winning routes, I already told you earlier.
Cool.
We watched the
So-
film together. Go ahead.
So where are we at? Am I at 7? I'm already at 7.
yeah,
I feel like I'm at 7. I might even be at 8.
you're at 7.
I'm at 7. Cool.
Because you've only named CJ and Bryce
So let's go. I would
and,
rather have.
and Jaden. So
I would
that was
rather
5
have.
and
Give
7.
me the young quarterbacks over Dak right now too. Give me Draco. Yeah, give me Draco.
Who is Draco?
Drake May.
All right, let's move on.
Oh, I'm tripping though, right? See, and that's exactly
Yes.
what I'm talking about. No,
Yes,
not at all.
you are, bro.
Dak is
When
a
you're
fucking.
talking about-
Dak is a
you're-
fucking 34-year-old quarterback who's making top dollar. Is fucking handicapping the team that he's on, and he's not good enough to overcome that handicap.
Okay,
That's it.
all right. I mean, I just disagree, and I think that
Jared
you
Goff?
said-
Yes, absolutely. Give me Jared Goff.
But you want to talk about niggas that can only produce when they're elite level running backs in the backfield.
Jared Goff has.
But you're
produced
gonna
on
say
two-
Jared
Goff
Goff?
has gone to 2 different teams and has produced twice.
Produce
Yes.
what?
He
The
went
Rams
to the Super
traded
Bowl
him
with-
away for shit
Still went to the Super Bowl with the Rams.
Jordan
and
Love.
did nothing and folded. No.
I don't like Jordan.
About
Love.
to say your
That's
same
that's not me.
argument would be applicable to that nigga
Yeah,
that he
I
can't
don't
get
like
it done
Jordan
in
Love.
big games.
Jalen Hurts,
I'm not a Jalen Hurts fan,
Okay, all right.
personally,
Brock Purdy,
but you can make that argument. I would take Brock Purdy. Yeah,
Justin Herbert,
Can we please move
No.
on? Can we
I think
please
Justin
move
Herbert is
on?
very talented, but no.
Bo Nix,
the way I slandered Bo Nix at the start of the year, I can't.
Yeah, I was about to
backtrack.
say it, but you're gonna say Drake May over Dak, but you're not gonna say Bo Nix over Dak.
I think Drake
Like
May's better than Bo
like
Nix.
Bo Nix wouldn't put Cock in Drake May.
He wouldn't. If
All
you
right.
switch their fucking positions, Drake May is having a hell of a year too.
Okay, with Cortland Sutton.
How about without Gerard Mayo or with an actual receiver? You know they
So
drafted.
that so
they
the
draft. Hold.
so the shit show that we
So
just
what-
watched
whoa,
from
whoa,
New England,
what-
that was Gerard Mayo's fault.
what about the receivers?
That's that shit in
What
them.
about
That's
them
that-
receivers?
That's that shit in them.
What about them
Yeah,
receivers
that's that
that
shit
they
in them,
drafted
for
that
sure.
didn't do shit?
That's
Jalen
that-
Polk, the nigga talking about some. I'll make niggas
no,
in
that
wheelchairs
wasn't.
stand
That
up.
was Javon Baker, but they
Same-
drafted.
They
him.
drafted him too.
Yeah.
both of them combined for like 300 yards this year.
Kayshawn Booty.
Ass, all of them ass, and was still out there producing. Yes, give me Drake.
What does producing mean? Did any of
I mean,
those
was-
wide receivers have over 600 yards?
Drake was producing. Them niggas weren't producing. Drake was.
How so?
Go look at the fucking numbers.
Okay, I don't know why I don't even know why we're doing this, but okay, no, there's no problem. I guess we'll give the people what they want for the last 2 episodes.
This isn't what the people want.
So
the people
so
don't want to hear
so-
about Dak.
So he threw for over 300 yards 0 times. He ended the season with 2,276 yards, 15 interceptions, or excuse me, 15 touchdowns and 10 interceptions. I mean,
Shit.
I
give me
guess
Caleb too.
if that's what we're gassing up, cool. And then he
Give me
says,
Caleb
like,
too.
see, but do you see why I get frustrated, bro?
Yeah, give me
because
any,
he'll
give
say
me any
like
young quarterback
you have to
on
be-
a good deal
Dak needs
and
to
put them in our system and they fucking produce.
Kyler
Yes.
Murray.
I like Kyler. Every time we play that bitch, he does something crazy. So give me Kyler.
You see, like, why I get so frustrated and how unrealistic the conversation becomes when he starts mentioning names like
you're
Drake
talking
May.
about a nigga who's on
But then
par
I
with
say-
a fucking Kirk Cousins.
but then
and
I
it's
say-
unrealistic.
Bro, listen,
The nigga has
then
no
I say-
mobility. He has no special arm talent. He's not very fucking accurate. He has fucking poor anticipation. He's ass. He's ass. Like, I don't even understand why we
He's a
keep having.
rookie of the
He's
year.
ass.
Every single year that he's healthy, every single season he's healthy.
He's fucking
Every
ass.
single
Every single
season-
season that he's healthy, he doesn't fucking produce.
All right, I understand. I'm gonna let you be in your feelings about the whole Dak situation and the
And
contract
then
and everything.
yet
else.
again,
All
like
thing
I
I'm
said,
gonna say, can I finish?
he's
Can
got
I
a
say
third
something?
coach. He's survived 3 coach firings somehow.
So that has nothing
Somehow.
to,
That's
that has
that's
nothing to
fucking
do
amazing.
with that has nothing to do with our owner and our GM saying Derrick Henry damn near would have did anything but suck our dick to come to Dallas, but we don't think that he fits.
I mean,
so
we
we're just
still
gonna
found a
let Derrick
1,000-yard
Henry.
rusher.
We're
We
just
still
gonna
found
let
a 1,000-yard rusher.
who
Rico.
and you're is there a
Serviceable.
comparison?
Rico is very serviceable.
Is there a comparison?
It
Is that
doesn't
what we're
fucking
doing?
matter. That was what you got.
So do you think
you know
that
why
your
we don't have a
offense-
Derrick
do you
Henry?
think that
you
your
know why we
offense-
don't have a Derrick Henry?
Because Jerry
Because
Jones
your
said-
pussy
Jer-
ass
Jerry-
wants to demand the
Jerry-
most
wait,
money
no,
in the fucking
the reason
league
why
history.
y'all don't is because Jerry Jones said, "Oh, he wouldn't fit our system. We don't need him." That's what your owner and your GM said.
Right.
That's the reason why y'all don't have
And the
him.
real reason being we don't have enough fucking money.
No, bro, y'all could have gave him. He
Bro,
only,
y'all- they
he,
coulda-
he only,
enough
he
fucking
He
only
did
money
had-
because
everything
Dak-
but
he
tell
only-
them
Because
niggas
Dak
like,
is accounting for like 35% of the goddamn salary cap.
Bro,
Everything
y'all
is
could
Dak's
have y'all
fault, bro.
could have scuffed up like what is he making like $5 million?
That's, I mean,
Something
cool,
like that.
cool.
They could've
it's
easily
all
done
cute.
that.
That shit has nothing to do with the fact that he fucking pissed down his leg in the playoffs the previous 3 seasons.
we're talking about
And then
Derrick
fucking.
Henry. We're
and then-
talking about Derrick Henry.
Yeah, and I'm
You're
talking
talking
about
about
Dak.
some other shit.
I'm talking about Dak.
Right, we're
Why-
talking
why-
about
I don't
Derrick
even want to
Henry.
give you a top talent because I know you're just gonna fucking waste my money. And then he goes and wastes his money on him. That shit just pisses me off altogether. Like I said, Mike McCarthy. I survived the Jason Garrett 8 and 8 years, 4 years
I didn't
running.
mean to blow that in your face. My apologies.
Got to finally see 12 and 5, 3 years running, and everybody wants to rejoice because we lose a good fucking coach. Fucking blows me.
Mike McCarthy is a good coach.
Mike McCarthy is a great coach.
Okay.
I don't think he's a bad coach personally.
What does he do that's outstanding? What is his identity? Because last year, because I love the fact that you like negate, like we watched the whole film of the playoffs last year, and like the words that I typed earlier, you actually said damn near verbatim, and you didn't acknowledge them. So, and it's just like, okay, cool. So we want to talk about Mike McCarthy. What does he do great? He's supposed to be an offensive-minded coach, but we see on the opposite or on the same hash, we start seeing fucking speed outs with routes that are going 6 yards, not even past the sticks. We see niggas getting absolutely clamped up because the route tree is predictable. Like, you know, it just I don't understand the logic, but I mean, cool. I wish y'all the best of luck.
Y'all can go turn on the film and watch it for yourself. Dak is fucking
you can.
ass.
You can, and what they're going to see is exactly what I say. You have a receiver. It's damn near very similar to Bryce's situation last year, with the only exception being that the offensive line isn't as bad. But you have receivers not winning routes. When you go out and you spend whatever you spend to bring in Jonathan Mingo because you have no receiver help, that's an issue. That's a red flag to me. Jonathan Mingo is dog shit. But you want to talk about, you know, Dak is this, Dak is that. Cool. I understand. I understand the frustration. I mean, it's just like, it just really blows my mind, honestly. But cool. Welcome to For Panthers Fans Only. I'm glad that we didn't get in the actual heated argument last week. Last week, I was ready to crash out. My head was hurting. My heat was up. My pulse was throbbing.
Wow.
Because y'all pissed me the fuck off.
Well, I don't even remember
That's
what it
why.
was. I don't even remember what it was.
A great episode.
Probably something about Bryce.
No, it was
That shit
something
was a
about
great
it was
episode.
about Evero.
Because that nigga was sucking off EJ.
Yeah.
I wasn't sucking him off.
You
I just-
deserve to get
Yeah,
slandered.
he was sucking EJ
I
off
didn't-
after,
I
like he
wasn't
didn't
s-
slander the bitch 3 weeks prior.
I wasn't sucking them off. I made very valid points. I went back and watched the episode 3 times to make sure I wasn't tripping. So, I mean, cool. If
As long as it sounds that way to you, then I mean nobody can argue that.
no, it
If you
sounded
feel-
that way to the comments
If
as
you
well.
if you feel that in your mind,
He's always gonna paint whatever narrative fits his argument in that moment.
Speaking of defensive coaches, what was this? Maybe 2 days after we recorded, the Carolina Panthers fired 3 defensive coaches. Secondary coach Burt Watts, he got clipped. Outside linebackers coach Tim Lukabu. I don't know if I'm messing up his name. Forgive me. And Bobby Maffei. Or Bobby Maffei. I don't know how to pronounce it again. All of them niggas got clipped. Long story short,
That's that
I
shit
didn't
in
need
you.
to. I didn't need to know their names. What? Go ahead. Say what you need to say. Don't hold your tongue, nigga. This is your show too. What do you need to say?
It's a lot bigger than them. That's all I'll say.
Well, I mean, those are the problems.
They should have chopped.
It is a lot bigger than them.
They should have chopped the fucking head of the snake off, and then it would have made sense for all of them to fall.
Listen, it is a lot bigger than them. You're absolutely right. The problem is our GM didn't give him talent. You're right. It is a lot bigger. It's an assessment issue. You're right. I totally agree.
It's a coaching
issue
too.
We go and bring in Trevin Wallace. Here you go. If Shaq
That's
gets
your
hurt,
boy.
Trevin Wallace. Here you go.
All of these people that you're claiming
you go.
that we didn't give him.
When did I ever claim Trevin Wallace as my boy?
Bro,
When did I ever claim Trevin Wallace as my boy?
Are you serious?
When did I ever claim Trevin Wallace as my boy?
I remember verbatim when
What did I say?
When he was in training camp and you was like, oh, he's sliding, like he catching picks, like you was gassing the nigga up. You claimed him
had 2
as your
picks
boy.
he
You
claimed
said,
2
yeah, Trevor gonna be like that until you first seen him and he wasn't on shit. So all of these people that you claim the GM didn't give him talent, you were gassing up, bro. So you can't evaluate talent either.
They're just guys.
Now they're just guys.
They're just guys. Like I told you last week, I can be a fan of somebody and them niggas don't really be sliding.
You just can't evaluate talent.
I don't know if that's necessarily true, but
Yeah, 100% true.
but pause. If that is the case, I don't get paid to fucking do it. So it don't make no difference if I can evaluate it or not.
You need to act like you get paid to talk about it and not say no dumb shit.
It don't be dumb shit. It be facts. Niggas was on my top because I said Trevin Wallace was making plays in training camp. Wow. I'm here every day. I see him making plays. That don't mean when he goes live and when he goes up against another colored jersey, he ain't going to get his dick put in the dirt. Facts or no facts?
You gassed him up, so.
I didn't gas him. I never gassed him. I think that it was actually minimal times that I spoke about that nigga on Move the Chains, to be quite frank. Minimal times. I may have spoken about that nigga twice. Max.
Yeah, I just don't think that's true.
Well, I'm telling you something.
Yeah, but you don't actually know.
Let me see. Along with those firings, round of applause because we finally get what we've been asking for like 3 or 4 years at this point. Head athletic trainer Kevin King fired, and health performance and nutrition director Andrew Athoff gone.
Now shoot him.
Get both of them, huh?
Now drop it. Shoot him. Shoot him out the door. One more, because there was 2 of them.
Cool.
Yeah, get them the fuck out of here.
Yeah, shout out to them. Appreciate y'all services, but they were no longer needed, unfortunately. We've been saying this for years, literally. Specifically, my co-host has been saying for years that these are the same guys that came in with Matt Rule. I don't understand why they're still here. We keep seeing season-ending injuries. We keep seeing guys be hurt, come back, and be even more fucked off in 2 weeks. I don't understand what took so long, but I'm just ecstatic that they're gone, and maybe we can get competent athletic training in the building now as well. Any comments? This is something that you championed for a while.
I mean, I'm happy. I don't know what took the front office so long to get it done, but, I mean, it's something that should have been done a long time ago. They should have went out the door with Matt Rule, but I think it's still the head strength and conditioning coach. He's still there, right?
I believe so.
Yeah,
I mean,
he's one specifically that came through Temple and Baylor with Matt Rule. I don't know if that I've been looking at his LinkedIn for like the past 3 or 4 years. So I mean, yeah, he's still there, but I mean, a step in the right direction.
That's all we can ask for.
It's minimum, like it's minute to a lot of people because people are probably like that's not familiar. Like, why are they championing about firing fucking training staff. But they deserve it, honestly.
Yes, because
Go
obviously
find a job elsewhere.
Yeah,
Yeah, and for those wondering why you would be champion for something like that, well, just go back and look at the season. Look how many players were fucking injured. That's why
season ending at that.
That's why you and then look at last year and the year before that. This shit it was happening like it was almost like a fucking religious sacrifice. The amount of players that were dropping
For no return,
Yeah.
unfortunately.
The amount of players that were dropping, like it's fucking ridiculous. So clearly, just as if you weren't doing your job in your real life, you would get fired. They weren't doing their job,
It just took them a little longer.
right? Because they're doctors. That's what you get. You get the benefit of the doubt when you go to school for 10 fucking years. Doesn't mean you know anything though.
I wouldn't even say they went to school that long, but
Not for athletic training.
yeah,
6,
you can get that in 4.
4.
5.5.
No, before they change, I was an athletic training major. Before they changed it up to ECU, at ECU, you could get it in 4, and then they moved it up to a master's program. And they came way before my time, so I'm pretty sure they got it in 4.
Shit, they might have got it in 2.
That's
Yeah.
Community college.
That's exactly why they didn't know what the fuck they were doing.
Yeah. Okay, cool. Had to get the news out of the way. Let's jump into it. Where would you guys like to start?
I don't know. I'm conflicted.
There shouldn't be no conflictions, to be honest.
Yes, bro.
Okay. I unfortunately, I think that we're gonna have a lot of the same people.
I doubt it.
Yeah, I don't think so.
I think we are.
I think the only thing that we'll all have the same is most improved. Well, then again,
no,
JJ's hating ass. Yeah.
no.
Or OPOY.
I don't
I
think
mean,
We're
not
gonna
OPOY.
have MVP,
I thought there was
OPOY,
a Rookie of the
DPOY.
year. That's what I meant.
I think all of our shit is gonna be exactly the same.
I don't think so.
Yeah, I don't think so either.
Okay. Where would you guys like to start? Let's go with. I want to start with disappointment of the year. Jonathan Brooks. We burned a second. we burned a second round pick on this stud running back from Texas. My co-host as well as my producer tried to tell me that it was a fuck off when it happened. I championed for him. We don't see him until week 10 or 11 against New York. And actually, no, he didn't even play that game.
played
The
game
following
after,
week.
yeah.
Yeah, because Miles got dicked off. Yeah, this athletic trainer had to go. He was just fried. He was fried. But, we don't see him until week 11, and when we see him for a week. He does minimal or has minimal impact, comes back. He looks halfway decent. The following week, he tears his shit again. So that, for me personally, is my disappointment of the year. Hate to see guys get injured. Hate to see torn ACLs and things like that as it pertains to the Carolina Panthers, but yeah, that's my disappointment of the year. Seems like we wasted a second-round pick, and unfortunately with the Carolina Panthers, the position that we're in, we cannot afford to waste any fucking picks. So, disappointment of the year for me, Jonathan Brooks.
And see, it's crazy because I thought that I would get slandered for saying his name because I thought it was going to be, a little too much too early because he's a rookie and we really haven't seen much. But honestly, I was flirting between the Jonathan Brooks pick and then the pickup of Deontay Johnson. And I was just like,
My God.
I was just like, which one just pissed me off more? And the reason I had to go to Jonathan Brooks is because on draft night, I felt the same exact way. I was just like, this is just not a good pick at this point in the draft when you need a cornerback. Kept telling y'all that, and then he goes and fucks his shit off. So, I mean, cool. Yeah, but it was between him or Deontay Johnson, and yeah, mine is going to go to Jonathan Brooks. But
I think I might have to change mine. Because I damn near forgot about that motherfucker.
Yeah, because I was going to ask, are we including people that's still on the team?
Yes, including people that are on the team.
Not on the team anymore? Yeah.
Yes, Jonathan Mingo, that nigga deserves an honorable mention. I'm going to go ahead and say his name, too. Yeah, Terrace Marshall. I can't even. Terrace Marshall, I'm going to shoot bail because he didn't even make the team.
Yeah.
So I can't even. Mingo.
What?
Mingo and Deontay, honorable mentions for me and Terrence. Who do you have?
My award is going to go to actually Xavier Legette.
He was on my list.
Wow. Okay.
Yeah.
So that's what we're doing. That's what we're doing today. All right, got it. Go ahead.
See, the reason I didn't personally pick Jonathan Brooks is because he tore his shit and we only got to see him for like 2 games. And
that's
I'm
the
not
fucking
gonna
problem.
Yeah, look, if I was basing it off the fact that I think you should have went corner, he was a disappointment from draft night. so I'm not gonna, so he was kind of already out of it for me. But it's gotta be Xavier Legette for me because you trade up to go get the guy, and then I have to watch week in, week out. I have to watch him drop and drop and drop and
After
drop
his
a game
wrist
winner
got fucked off.
and drop again. Is this your 60? Or is it
I'm
Okay,
sorry.
cool.
I was just adding context.
I had to
My
watch him
apologies.
drop pass after pass, drop a literal game from his hands. Like it was very disappointing to see somebody that was so highly touted for 1 year of performance in college.
I was about to say, we don't even know why exactly.
Yeah, it's mysterious how he rose from like a 3rd rounder to a 1st rounder like 3 days before the draft kicked off. But very strange, but whatever. You go get him in the 1st round, and then he just is I was very underwhelmed with what I saw. And then he leaves you in a position now where if Adam Thielen retires, I got a lot of questions about this receiving room again, and he was supposed to clear all that up, being a 1st-round talent, 1st-round receiver. So my disappointment of the year is going to Xavier Legette.
I don't hate that. I love that, actually. Honestly.
Honorable mentions: Deontay,
Absolutely.
Mingo. Who else did you say? Eddie Pinero.
Wow.
I forgot all about him. He might would have got my award for disappointment of the year, actually, if I would have thought hard enough. But it's okay. Yeah, so cool.
And y'all let us know in the comments who you think should win each of these awards as we go through.
Absolutely. Deontay Johnson, I damn near want to change my whole thing to Deontay, bro.
The only reason
because
I feel like you can't though, because Deontay did cook while he was in Carolina. There was like a solid. Yeah, there was like a solid.
There was
week.
like a week or two where he was going.
There was
crazy.
like 2 weeks where he
because
went
I
over
started popping
100.
my shit.
Yeah. He was going fast. So I'd have trouble calling Deontay a disappointment. The only disappointing part is that he didn't make it past halfway through the season for whatever fucking reason.
But it's like we seen that in training camp, and nobody wanted to
attitude,
look.
yeah.
Nobody wanted to look into it, like we were saying, or like I was saying in particular. Nobody wanted to really call it out, but it's like that shit is a problem, and it's gonna be a problem. And he didn't want to be here, so fuck him. Yeah. Disappointment.
He had one game where he went over 100 yards.
And he dropped like 5 touchdown passes.
Yeah, 8 catches for 122 yards in the tutty against Vegas. He put on a show for Terrence for him to be front and center.
Chuba did, and Andy did.
Okay. And then he had 7 for 83 against Cincinnati. He had 6 for 78 against Atlanta. Yeah, Deontay Johnson has to be honorable mention number 1. Because, I mean, when I look at the other shits, now a lot of this is on y'all's boy, too. These first 2 weeks, 2 catches for 19 yards, 3 catches for 15 yards.
Get open.
3 catches for 23 yards against Chicago. Jalen Johnson just had him in. I mean.
Yeah, what were you just saying? Receivers not generating space or whatever? Shit that you was trying to spew?
Yeah, but I mean, if you go look at the film, we're not going to do this because we have a show to get through.
Is Xavier Legette on your list anywhere?
Is he not an honorable mention?
Who, Xavier Legette?
Yeah.
For me, no. But that's just, I mean, y'all just said I don't know anything and I don't know how that says talent, so I mean, no. But I'm just telling y'all that the nigga was having a halfway decent season before his wrist got fucked off. And then when you go look at his win rate, you go look at the way he wins his routes.
Just can't catch it. Just can't finish.
I mean, like I said, this all started when his wrist got fucked up.
He make it all the way to the store with no fucking money.
Well, you can't tell me or you can't point to a specific time pre the New Orleans Saints game when his wrist initially got fucked off. You cannot point to when he was dropping passes pre that.
One?
No, it wasn't week 1. You know what week I'm talking about. Shit was like week 10 or 11 when we played New Orleans at the crib and clipped them niggas. When his wrist got fucked off on the sideline. So, no, for me personally, he's not on my list. But I understand why you would feel that way because there is a question mark on if he can get the job done should Thielen retire. So, I get that. I get that for sure. So, disappointment of the year, y'all let us know in the comments. Like Tavian said, let us know as we're going through them because I would love to hear y'all's input on that front. UFL award. someone who is just completely ass at football. This is now, mind y'all, some of these our content manager Dylan created. I love the UFL award because I have so many names that I want to put up here. But for mine personally, I'm gonna nominate Jordan Fuller. So shout out to you, Jordan Fuller, a guy coming from the LA Rams. I personally was happy about the addition when it first happened. I thought he was going to add something to this back line. I thought he was going to be sliding. To be quite frank, there's maybe one or two plays that I can draw off the top of my head where he made an impact positively, and just very, very underwhelming. My honorable mention, y'all should already know.
Whoa, hold.
Oh, okay.
I'll
go slow.
yeah.
Okay,
I
my
think your
apologies.
honorable mention might be my award winner.
same.
My apologies.
He
Okay,
might be
cool.
my award
So,
winner.
yeah, shout out to Jordan Fuller. He is my UFL football award winner because he doesn't deserve to be in the NFL any longer.
I'm stuck between two. I'm torn between two again. Those two are gonna be Ian Thomas and DJ Johnson.
Yeah. Yep.
They both just are fucking terrible. I mean, they should never be on another NFL team. I mean, Ian Thomas, thank you for your services. Thank you for adding the extra blocker. We don't need you anymore. Bye. We'll see you. He's dog shit.
It's over
And
with.
DJ
It's over
Johnson, I mean, if we just get someone remotely serviceable, he'll never touch the field again. That's the best edge setter on the team. He's sorry as fuck, too. But if I had to go with one, I'm going to go Ian Thomas because he hasn't even really did shit this season or the previous season.
He's been hurt, though. He doesn't get any bail shot to him because
No,
he's been
he
hurt
sucks.
this year.
I mean, this has been going on for years now. He's ass.
Yeah, well, I mean, there's no surprise. My winner is definitely 100% DJ Johnson. I mean, and it wasn't even really close. As soon as that award was brought to my attention, that name also simultaneously came up in my mind because they're synonymous. Because DJ Johnson should have never been drafted in the first place. That was Matt Rule? Or was that?
I think
that was
Matt
like
Rule.
Matt Rule's final year, right? Or was that? Or was that Frank Reich?
That was Reich.
Really?
DJ Johnson was Reich, I think.
Because this is his
Yeah,
second?
this is only his second year. That was Reich.
Yeah, okay.
If you remember, they had the nigga.
Oh, yeah.
At the,
that-
Hey, I
at
want
the
that-
fucking Senior Bowl.
Yeah,
It was
at the
coming to
Senior Bowl, and then in the blueprint, that bald-headed black nigga was in that fucking draft room crying.
Yeah.
Shedding tears.
Yeah, I hope
I
he's
want
gone.
that motherfucker fired. I want that bitch gone. I want him gone. I want
That
him
might
gone.
have been one of the
It
one of
may
them
have been.
defensive coaches.
Yeah, it may have been. And
That
if it
outside
was,
linebacker coach.
it may be.
Now,
Maybe.
what is that team? The Argonauts, the UFL. That's DJ Johnson. You might not even be good enough to play with them, my boy. I mean, you are probably, without a doubt, not even probably, you are without a doubt one of the worst football player that I have ever laid my eyes on. Honestly, I'm kind of baffled. Between you and that quarterback that got drafted out of UConn that had thrown like one touchdown and 24 interceptions that somehow made it to the NFL, between you and him,
And Quentin Johnson, he's a close second.
oh my God.
Oh,
My God. Oh my God.
Lord, please forgive me. I said some crazy shit about Quentin Johnson. the
DJ
other day.
Johnson, you are the second worst player that I have ever seen because I almost forgot about him. Quentin
He's
Johnson
so
is
ass,
terrible.
bro.
But DJ Johnson, congratulations. What's the award?
The UFL award.
You are the UFL award winner. Can we get a round of applause for him?
Absolutely. Shout out to all the winners so far. Where do we start?
Disappointment.
Okay, cool. All right. Should we just do all of the negative ones?
Absolutely.
I don't know if there's any more, actually. Biggest mistake from the season. We'll go to that one. The biggest mistake. It can be a player.
Jonathan
it can
Brooks.
be a decision. Okay. Jonathan Brooks
Yeah,
for you?
absolutely. Because you saw what you saw. The biggest mistake of the season started during draft night when you drafted Jonathan Brooks in the second round instead of addressing any cornerback secondary concerns that you may have had going into the year, instead of addressing, getting double dipping, getting in at center, instead of going and addressing the trenches, an edge rusher, you decided to go for a running back coming off a torn ACL to come play 20 snaps and tear his ACL again. I don't see how anything else can be more disappointing than that.
Yeah, I would have to agree. Specifically, just not going to get a corner. Like, even if that, because weren't we still flirting with the idea of bringing Stephon Gilmore in as well?
At that time, yeah.
That was your boy was out here pounding his chest on the damn podcast. Talking about don't worry, bro. We got a backup. We got Gilly in our
that's
back
what you
pocket.
was saying. You
we
was
got
like,
Gilly in our
you
back
was like,
pocket.
it wouldn't matter if, like, because we guarantee had Gilly. So yeah, I would say like the biggest mistake is just not going to address the secondary and leaving JC with Mike Jack. Granted, Mike Jack has been solid this year, but I mean, just imagine him with another serviceable cornerback and then Mike Jack playing cornerback 3 or something like that. It would have looked a lot fucking better. So yeah, I would agree with that.
Especially when you have to look at a team like Philly, who drafted Cooper DeJean after you could have had the opportunity to draft him prior to trading back in that second round. Cooper DeJean has been balling out. I believe there's a few other cornerbacks that kind of went and you could have had that have had solid seasons, but I just don't.
Where the bro from that is in Detroit? He's a little handsy, but he's a solid corner. Terry Arnold.
Yep.
He's sorry as hell.
He's from Alabama.
That's the one that
he's
be
from
getting them penalties all the
Yeah,
time.
he be getting penalties, but
He be getting dick put in.
but he's a solid corner, bro.
Nigga,
Yeah,
if he
he's
played for
been
Carolina,
serviceable.
you would want terrible, terrible things to happen to him. The amount of games that I've watched of Detroit's and the amount of penalties that I've seen that nigga get is think J.C. Horn versus Kansas City times 10.
I would rather you hold than get beat.
Yeah, I don't know if it would be that bad, bro. I don't know if it would be worse than me having to watch Jonathan Brooks tear his ACL.
And
I don't know.
Yeah, I was about to say.
I don't know. I don't know.
Fair enough.
And it would be nice to have two muggers on the outside like that with JC and him.
Yeah.
I mean, wideouts would be in hell no matter which side of the field they were on.
Whether they getting fucking held or
And
don't
Mike
fucking
Jackson
matter.
doesn't fit that mold.
Well, nothing would have prevented you from then going out and getting Mike Jackson still.
I think it would. Because why would you, at that point, you would.
Dave Canales wanted him, Seattle didn't. You heard him in his final little interview for the season. He said, yeah, I want to be here because Canales wanted me here. I'm here because of him. Do you trust Dave or not?
I trust him.
So he would have brought him.
Mine, the biggest mistake for me this season and this off season is gonna be not investing in the defense. Even though we had the big blow up that we had last year, it kind of fits into what they're saying. I think that it was a huge mistake. Now, it worked out just because your offense did look significantly better all season, with the exception of maybe 2 or 3 games. But out of the 17, we can live with that. We can live with that percentage. But I do think that it was a huge mistake not investing more in your defense. You had talent in the building, and Terrence is going to be upset when I say this name, but I digress. You had Brian Burns in the building. You had Frankie Louvu in the building. You had Jeremy Chin in the building. Now, I know, the Frankie Louvu situation is one of those ones where we offered him more money. He chose that, he chose to go elsewhere just based on scheme, and that's cool. But I feel like at the same time, if we would have had the approach of, nigga, we're going to make you a deal that you just simply can't refuse, then, you just don't have the opportunity to walk away. Same thing with Jeremy Chin. I don't know if he was offered any amount of money from the Carolina Panthers.
Well, you remember EJ didn't know how to play him.
Yes.
He said that he couldn't.
He didn't know what to do with him.
Yeah, so, I mean, in Jeremy Chin's shoes, why would you want to be there?
Very true. I mean, that's very true. And then you look at the Stephon Gilmore situation, like they just touched on. You look at the Patrick Queen situation after Frankie Louvu decided that he wanted to walk. Like, I think there were a lot of opportunities we had still in the offseason after making some of these acquisitions with the offensive line and things of that nature, where you could have still had the opportunity to better this defense. And with all due respect, we ended up with, Josie Jewell and Jordan Fuller. Again, I say that with all due respect, but that to me does not, you have to play complementary football in the NFL. That's the biggest thing to me. And I think that was probably the biggest misstep. And then when you go look at Dan Morgan's press conference to end the season, you see that he admits that on that front. So I think that not investing in the defense was a huge problem, which is, part of the reason why we find ourselves in the situation that we do currently, where you almost have to rebuild defense completely, not knowing what you're going to do with Shaq and not knowing what Derek Brown looks like coming off of the season and the injury, excuse me, not having J.C. Horn paid, etc. It's just a lot of question marks over there. A lot of question marks in that room.
Well, would you change anything about? I know you said not investing into the defense, but would you change anything about how much they invested into the offense? Just because it's like, in that same breath, you had to find out if you had your guy at quarterback.
Yeah.
Like, that's something that you had to find out, because that would be an even bigger problem, even a bigger problem than the defense, if you get to this point and Bryce looked like he did last year, and it's like, okay, now we really don't know where the fuck we're gonna go.
I mean, in hindsight, yeah, because, I mean, you continue to invest in the offense in the draft as well. But your first 2 picks was offense. One of those picks, there are significant question marks around if he's wide receiver 1 or not. The other pick, we don't even know what he's worth on the NFL level. And I think that the contract that Damian Lewis got, I think that you could have got Damian Lewis signed for a little less money, a couple of millions of dollars less than what we got him for. Now, we talked about last week, that going into an offseason as a 3-win team, you're going to have to overpay for some talent. But I think that there could have been things reworked, and I think that there could have been more focus, again, on the defensive side of the ball when you look at going back into the draft and you look at you going, 3 offensive players in the first 4 rounds. I do, because I think that, J.T. Sanders, I think he's going to be a baller. I think he's going to be a hooper, but if you go defense with your second, maybe we don't necessarily have to look at J.T. Sanders because we get Trevin and we get an actual pass rusher in the second or a cornerback in the second, then, we feel a little more comfortable with J.T. Sanders. So I don't know if I would necessarily change it because I understand what the vision was and I understand what the mission was this season. However, when you look at it in hindsight, it's just like, oh, shit, this is really, really a problem. This is really a problem that could, go a couple of years down the road if not addressed properly this offseason. So we'll see. Cool. I don't really have any honorable mentions on that front. Let me see. Actually, I'm just going to pause right here as a brief intermission. Cheetah, Garrett, or T? Because to me, I know that they said Tyreek is back happy in Miami. He had great conversations, whatever the case may be. I know that post-game press conference was very emotional and, caught him in the heat of the moment. But to me, he's still on the block. To me, you can still finesse something. So out of those 3, and we have to look at Bryce having his weapon. And this is something we'll talk about next week as well, just kind of looking at the offseason and what we need to be prepared for and what, the team should look to do. But just give me your instant reaction just right now out of those 3 names.
I think I'm going to go T.
Okay, you?
I'm going Garrett.
I think I'm going Garrett as well. And I only don't say Tyreek because I think Tyreek will cost too much.
I think Tyreek is a little older. He will cost a lot. I think T. Higgins is a really talented player. Love T. Higgins.
Yeah.
However, I think Garrett Wilson fits the play style that the Panthers are looking for. He's a similar role to what they wanted in Deontay Johnson, minus the extracurricular in the locker room. Like Garrett Wilson, while he has complained in his time in New York, who the fuck wouldn't? 1, it's the Jets. 2, I don't think it's been to the extent of what we've ever seen from Deontay Johnson. Yeah. And I think Garrett Wilson really genuinely wants to play football, and he wants to play football at a high level, and he wants to play with somebody who can do that. And he was one of the first people that I ever saw pounding the table for Bryce in the NFL.
Yeah, so and he's only 24.
That too, and you still get him on his rookie deal.
And with T, just to add more context before we move on, I think that the injuries that T had this year are very alarming to me. Like, I think he was out for, a substantial amount of time. I know for a fact twice, and I want to say 3 times, that he had to be out for a week or 2. But then to start the season, I think he was out 3 or 4 weeks. To end the season, I want to say he was out 2 or 3 weeks or something like that. Like, that to me, that scares me. That, for me personally, scares me.
It's not new. This has been something that's happened the last 2 years, if you're looking at it. So,
But I would not be upset. If we went and got T. Higgins, I'm gonna go ahead and tell everybody right now my jersey would be on the way. As soon as the fucking deal got done, I would go make my custom shit in black, Higgins on the back. Actually processed blue. Guarantee. But I just had to ask that question very quickly because we didn't touch it last week. Okay, cool. Let's see. Let's move on. Let's go a little positive. Do y'all want to go to Rookie of the Year or do y'all want to go to Most Improved?
My Rookie of the Year is pretty simple.
Mine is too. I think we may all have the same Rookie of the Year.
Jalen
18.
Coker.
Coke boys, for sure.
Yep.
I think that Steve Smith was right about this one, I believe. I think that what he was able to accomplish this season as an undrafted free agent, even with some of the injuries popping up where he's missing, extended periods of time, even with him being, at some point or another wide receiver 5 or 6 or even 7 during the offseason, for him to still finish top 10 in yards amongst all rookie pass catchers, that's special to me. That's special to me. I love his length pause. I love his hands. I love pause. Facts. Athletic ability, obviously you can, there's still a little left to be desired on that front, but catch radius, like I said, his size, I think Jalen Coker has the ability to be special. I really do. And that would be, to me, one of the biggest hits from so far from this front office would be Jalen Coker, because I think that he has the ability. Honestly, if nothing changes, he has the ability to be wide receiver 1. And you actually said that, I think, like 4 or 5 weeks ago, that right now Jalen Coker was wide receiver 1 for the Carolina Panthers.
And for context, that was when Adam Thielen was hurt. So don't y'all be getting on my fucking top in the
Yes,
comments. Adam Thielen
correct.
was out.
He was
at
on
the
IR
time.
at the time. Yeah. So, but yeah, Jalen Coker, I think. So everybody said the same thing for that Rookie of the Year, Jalen Coker.
Yeah,
Yeah.
without a doubt. I mean, everything else in this rookie class, outside of an honorable mention of JT, left a lot to be desired. And I feel like JT could have won it had he not gotten stretched week 11, 12, whichever.
Kansas City.
It
Yeah.
kind of set him back.
Yeah, yeah, big time, because he was trending in that direction for
He
sure.
was about to pop that game.
Yeah.
He had 2 big catches on that specific
drive.
series.
Yeah.
And then he gets stretched, and then for whatever reason, it just seemed like offensively we could never really get him worked back into where we wanted him to be. And then we
I
saw
think
Tommy Tremble
came back, and
which is Tommy Tremble to me. I felt this way throughout the summer, is a Dave Canales guy. I think Dave Canales and the coaching staff loves Tommy Tremble, just based on what I was hearing last spring, and then seeing how he kind of played in the training camp, and then seeing the role increase a little bit at the end of the year. I think they love Tommy Tremble, which if you can get him to produce, I don't hate it. I mean, I don't hate Tommy Tremble. I just think that as a pass catcher, Jatavion Sanders provides you a little bit more, because in that game back of the end zone, we get a ball off the face mask that we don't catch. Great ball
Nasty
positioning from Bryce Young. Beautiful throw. So, I think there's a little left to be desired there, but
fortunately, this may be a situation, though, if you can't find any help at receiver, where you'll see a lot of 2 tight end sets, so you might see that JT-Tommy Tremble combo.
Sure.
Because you can sub JT out as a pass catcher should you need to supplement that.
Yeah, very true. Most improved, I think we have the same one as well on most improved. But maybe we do, maybe we don't. I mean, I'll start. I think nah.
Yeah, I have to agree.
Yeah, I don't think that. If you look at Bryce Young's situation, bro, like, look at last year, you look at the first 2 weeks of this season, and then you look at us literally having conversations about trading Bryce Young and his value in the NFL market being a 5th or 6th round pick, going to, 5 total touchdowns in a must-win game for a divisional rival. I mean, I damn near am in shock at the amount of improvement I've seen from the nigga. I'm not gonna hold you, because I honestly didn't think that he had it in him. I'm not here to lie to y'all this afternoon, this evening, this morning, whenever you're watching. I didn't think that he had it in him. I had seen, obviously everything people had to say, heard everything people had to say. Obviously, I saw the Bama film, and I saw some of the things that he was able to accomplish during his Heisman Trophy season there. But at the NFL level, I really didn't think that he had what it took. I didn't think that he had what was necessary to be a franchise quarterback, and just the maturation that I saw from the nigga too over, the final 12 or 13 weeks of the season is like very, very strange, very weird. And obviously everybody likes making a joke about Rod Wave, having that conversation with him or whatever. I don't know if that shit played a part in it, but if that is the case, then Rod Wave might need to be our team healer, because I mean, it's damn near unhuman for you to go like a nigga that I feel like they're really. You even spoke to this again like week 1 or 2 or something like that, where you were talking about Bryce Young and you were saying like you felt like in the locker room there was a sense of like that's the little brother, that's little bro. Like they don't really respect him as the quarterback, as the leader of the team, et cetera, et cetera. And I was like, nah, you know what? You're absolutely right. Like I don't know if they respect him as a man. Towards the end of the year, with Bryce Young, it seemed like hands down, like he was in full control of the locker room. Everybody in the locker room had confidence in his abilities and what he was able to do. I don't know if that was the case throughout the year. I think there are a lot of people in that locker room that was thinking very similar to me, if we're having an honest conversation, that this little nigga might just simply not have it. He might not have it. But the improvement on the field, the maturation, the leadership, even to the fucking press conferences, which I was on his top about that as well. Just everything overall, I mean, by far most improved to me.
Yeah, I would have to.
That's a problem? You were looking at me smirk. Oh, yeah, he was on there talking like a bitch. He wasn't doing that towards the end of the year.
Yeah, I mean, if you say so. But, I mean, yeah, I would have to say the same thing. And I said this a few weeks ago, even last week, that, like, it's just kind of crazy how the span of, like, 2 to 3 games, like, really flipped the switch for him. And a lot of people said that it's just due to the fact that he just got to sit down and, you know, watch Andy for 2 or 3 games and, you know, have that pressure taken off of him and things like that, which I agree. I think that is true. But to me, it's still kind of insane that he took a turn as quick as he did. So, yeah, I definitely say it's Bryce. From going from, you know, not knowing what his future looks like, people sharing videos of him working at Cane's and working at Bojangles and shit, all the way up until, like, the NFL really started, like, sack riding a nigga. Like, every week you see the NFL posting a clip of Bryce Young, and then all of these random people just hopping on the bandwagon. Like, it's just something crazy that turned around so quick to end in the season being, like, one of the best quarterbacks in the NFL towards that back half of the season. And, I mean, yeah, it was just really crazy to see. So, yeah, I'd definitely say Bryce.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, y'all know what it is, man. I'm not going to fucking beat a dead horse here. Bryce, I've been in Bryce's corners from day one. Well, from day 2 because I wanted C.J. Stroud. But since he stepped foot in Carolina, you know, I've been backing Bryce, and I've been thinking that he was going to be that guy, and I'm just glad that he finally, you know, showed up and showed out. Like, he definitely improved, and by the back half of the season, he was a top 5 quarterback. Last 4 weeks, not even up for debate. Go pull up the fucking numbers and argue with your mother, because I'm not doing it. Bryce was a top 5 quarterback at the end of the season, and he just dropped his fucking nuts in the final game to show y'all what it is for next year. MVP. Season loaded.
Let's slow down.
I said what I said. MVP, season loaded. I'm going to tell you like I told Buddy in the comments today. I said what I said.
Fair enough. This is a good one. I like this one, and then we'll go OPOY, DPOY, MVP, kind of to wrap things up. I like this one though. Best play of the year. You kind of got to go into. This is a tough one. If you don't really like recall a lot.
I can lead off because I got one.
Okay.
Off the top of my head. The best play that I saw all season, for me personally, was the play in Philly where Bryce is about to go down in the end zone and he avoids all the pressure, gets out. Huge point in the game. Now, Panthers did end up losing this game, but at that particular time, that play was that was a massive play. And I think that was really the moment that solidified all the growth and development that we were seeing from him in the weeks prior, because he had been knocking at that door of excellence, knocking at that door of being great. And I think those plays that he made late in that game against Philly, especially the one where he had to lead the drive down the field and got out of the safety. Philly has one of the nastiest D lines in the NFL, and he avoided all of them in his own end zone, high pressure situation, and delivered a fucking dart. To me, that was the play of the year.
Not mad at that at all.
I don't know.
You let it go?
No.
Okay. I have 2. So you don't even have to have one if you don't want to have one, because it's a lot. It's a lot. But I have 2. My first one, I'm gonna say my favorite player of the year. I don't know if this was the best player of the season, so don't shoot me. But one of my favorite ones was the Coker touchdown against Dallas. just because situationally we were dead in the water. It felt like played a terrible half of football, cut it down 14-7. Obviously, shit didn't go our way that day, but I think that was huge just because, again, like going back to what I said about Jalen Coker, I think it puts him. To me, he's going to be a dog. I think Jalen Coker is going to be a problem, and that was one of those moments that, 10, 15 years down the line, should he have the career that I believe he's capable of, we'll look back and remember, like, yeah, we remember that shit. We were getting our ass beat. We were doing this and that. It felt like this, but he really kind of turned the stadium up a little bit with that one. So I'll say that one, and then one that wasn't like a huge touchdown or anything like that. But if you remember back to Germany, I want to say it was 3rd and 8, 3rd and 9, something along those lines, maybe even 4th down. But the throw that Bryce made to Adam Thielen, I believe it was, on the sideline, in a big moment, which kind of like turned the rest of the season around, was that Germany game, in my opinion. But that was a huge throw and a huge moment for me as it pertains to Bryce Young, because that was one of the moments that he really showed me, like, nigga, I really can do this shit. And I'm really that. So that is definitely one of the ones for me. Those are top two.
Was that the one where AT made that crazy catch too, right? If I'm not mistaken.
That game?
Yeah, that was it not that throw? Is that not the one that you're referring
to?
No,
I don't think so. I know which one you're talking about, but I don't think that was one. I don't think that's the catch that I'm referring to. You're talking about the one down the sideline, on the left sideline, right?
Well, that was 4th down though, right?
That was on 4th down. The play he's talking about was on 4th down.
Yeah, that was on 4th down.
That was a different. Okay,
that was a different game, but that shit was huge. Yeah. What game was that? What game was that? That shit was crazy. Yeah.
Nuts.
That's when Dylan started the whole fucking Panthers legend shit. Yeah. And then he went out and came through and did that shit, and I was just like, how can I even be mad? Because he dropped his nuts that game.
Yeah, that was on 4th down. I remember that. But I guess my two or one, going back to the Germany game, just thinking about what position we were in and what really flipped the game on his head, I think that Josie Jewell pick where he, like, damn near just snatched that shit from him.
On the sideline?
Yeah, on the sideline. That was a huge play. And then I think just, like, style play, just, like, a quarterback that has his mojo and that's feeling himself is the no-look pass. No-look touchdown
for
pass.
For sure.
Like, I just think at that moment, even though, last game of the season, right? But it's like at the same time, like, I'm putting y'all on notice for what's to come. Like, this is who I am. This is what I'm going to be. So take fucking notes now. Get all of the shit you can get out now, but this is what you got to look forward to coming next year.
Showing his ass.
Yeah. I mean, just, yeah. Before we go any further, take time right now, if you're watching on YouTube, like, comment, subscribe, turn that bell notification on for sure. Like I said, the content will not stop. Different forum, obviously. It'll be a little different, but for Panthers fans only, we'll be back in about a month to a month and a half, but we definitely will continue to drop content all throughout the off season. Just doing different film breakdowns and play reactions and things of that nature. So yeah, make sure that you're tapped in and you're subscribed and you got that bell notification on so you can know when we drop and so you can tune in. Let's do this. Do y'all have juice tickets already?
Nah, because I had to bill my ticket for the night.
So you don't have juice tickets ready? Do you have a juice ticket ready?
But I can get one ready.
Do you have a juice ticket ready?
No, I don't.
Okay. Well, I'm gonna give y'all time to get a juice ticket ready.
I can get one now.
We can get an update though on the scoreboard while we wait.
Sure, we can do an update. I don't know the update.
Okay.
I thought I hit, but obviously I didn't. I'm just so I just don't know, bro. I think that really my issue and my problem is the fact that we have to do it so long, like so far ahead, if that makes sense. Like, I don't like the fact that we had to do it so far ahead. But, I mean, that seems to be a problem for nobody but me. So maybe I just simply can't get the job done. What is the update? Terrence, yours is pending Monday Night Football, correct?
And they're about to fuck me off.
What's the score?
7-0.
Yeah, I think they're gonna get put in the backwood this week. I really do. Tavian?
Yes.
You have how
I'm
many?
ready.
3?
I'm ready.
You have 3 wins?
4.
You have 4. Terrence has 4. Dylan has 5, and I
5.
have 0.
Martin Luther King.
So because
So-
of that, I'm completely out of contention at this point. So I will not be participating in Juice this week or next week.
That's
Is
insane.
that if that's soft? I mean, I damn near don't care. But I just refuse to continue to make a fool of myself. So what I'm gonna do is read out Dylan's ticket. My last week, if I would have hit last week, then I would have continued to play. But the fact that I can't even catch up mathematically, I'm at 0. There's only 3 weeks remaining in the season. Yeah, I'm just fucked off. And there's only 2 weeks of this remaining, so they won't even actually. Will they know? They won't even know. I don't think who ends up winning Juice.
Oh, they'll know. We'll let y'all know.
We'll post it. Yeah, sure.
Yeah, we'll let y'all know.
But yeah, I will not be participating. I've been mathematically eliminated. If you're not familiar, we started Juice, I want to say maybe in April, either April or May. I have 0 wins from now to then. It's really, really sad and embarrassing, but we have $150 on the line. Whoever wins the Juice pot, so to speak, will win $150 from each participant. Tavian and Terrence are still very much in the running. Dylan is currently leading, and Dylan's ticket for this week, plus 832. Check that, plus 892 at the time placed.
Soft.
Josh Allen under 236.5 yards. Lamar Jackson under 232.5 yards. Under on total match points at 51.5. Jared Goff to throw for 225 plus. Detroit money line against the Commanders. Patrick Mahomes 200 plus alt total yards. Check that, alt passing yards. And CJ Stroud 175 alt passing yards. Again, that's plus 892. When I saw this ticket, I almost put it in. I almost put it in when I saw it. It's actually a really, really good ticket. I just don't know if Josh Allen and Lamar both go under. I'm not mad at the under on the match points. I don't know if Josh Allen and Lamar both go under. I think both of them niggas are going to try and prove a point on Sunday, actually. So, not 100% sure. But
It'll
plus
all be
892.
It'll all be for naught, though, because once they got to see 15 in red. Night.
Yeah, I'm not going to go that far.
I am.
Personally.
Night. Y'all know what it is, man. When 15 step on the field, everybody watch. Clear the fuck out. Now, here we go. I'm coming to y'all today with a plus 932 Juice ticket, all right? We are taking the Kansas City Chiefs money line. What'd I just say? When 15 steps on the field, watch the fuck out. We're taking the Detroit Lions money line versus the Washington Commanders. Hell of a job for the Commanders. Hell of a season. Really nice to see their fan base showing up and showing out. Your season's over. Going home. Baltimore Ravens money line against the Buffalo Bills. I think the Ravens just have a little bit too much firepower for the Bills to handle. Love Josh Allen. He's been having a hell of a year too, but they don't have a Derrick Henry on that sideline.
They don't have a Lamar Jackson on that sideline, what you meant to say.
No, I meant to say Derrick Henry because they got Josh Allen. We're not going to be disrespectful now.
That's true.
Have you seen Lamar Jackson stats?
Have you seen Josh Allen's stats? I mean, they're, 6 in one hand, half a dozen in the other. One can run a lot better. Well, I wouldn't even say a lot better. One can run better, one can throw better. And then we are taking the Notre Dame Fighting Irish to win the national championship versus the Ohio State Buckeyes.
They're going to put them niggas on a T-shirt.
The Ohio State?
Yeah, they're going to put them on a T-shirt.
It's very possible.
And I've been cheering for Notre Dame.
I love, I just, it's anything can happen. You can pay players again. Why not bring back a little bit of that 80s glory for the Fighting Irish and them beautiful gold helmets. Marcus Freeman, big fan of him. I think Ryan Day's up. Yeah. So, let's go Fighting Irish. Plus 932.
I'm cheering for him.
All right, mine is plus 793.
You're
soft shit. Soft.
Now it's that plus 793. I have Baltimore money line. I have that game going over 44.5. I think those are two high-powered offenses. I have Jaden Daniels 200 plus passing yards. They're gonna need it because they're gonna be playing catch up. Terry McLaurin 50 receiving yards. That should be fucking slight. I do have the Lions minus 4.5. And I have the Houston Texans covering 13.5.
I like
Plus
it.
$7.93.
That's a
Yeah,
good
I
ticket.
like it actually. I do like the ticket. I
That's a
might
good
put that
ticket.
in.
Yeah, that's a good one.
Are you putting it in?
Yep, I'm probably gonna actually put it in this week.
Yeah, that's a good. Send it.
Yeah, that's a good ticket.
Send
That's
it.
a
I'll
really
use the
good ticket.
referral code. We can get some bonus bets.
I got you.
Why'd you look at me?
You ain't signed up for Fanatics yet?
I'm only signed up for FanDuel.
Why did you look at me?
Hit me for all the apps. Hit me for all the apps. Let's get money. Why did I look at you?
Yeah. Because you know that you should give that to me.
Yeah, right, nigga.
I'm just
The way
asking.
you fucked off my plays last night. Oh my god.
Yeah, I heard about
I
you.
fucked them
No,
off.
I heard about you. I heard about them legs that you threw on that ticket.
I fucked them off.
The K dot and
In
the
the
K
Bucky
dot leg
Irvin?
was in the
Both
Bucky
of them were
Irvin.
you.
Nasty. That's nasty.
What's nasty about that?
Bro, K dot and has been battling a knee injury for the last 5 fucking weeks.
Yeah,
Hasn't
okay.
been himself. And
I
then
mean, you would think in the
fucking-
playoffs that shit doesn't matter, right?
no, it does.
Can we give context first? Both of them niggas hit 2. They were supposed to hit 3. So let's not act like them niggas had zero.
Wow.
Let's not act like they had zero fucking catches, bro.
They didn't fucking
they
hit.
didn't make me no
And
money,
then,
bro.
And then, but I also gotta get on you too, because you listen, and the viewers can go ahead and back me up on this. You listen to the nigga that hasn't won a single fucking ticket on our segment about winning tickets.
I don't know. Yeah, that's
Because
bad.
you want me to tell you why he
That's,
listened to me?
that's bad, coach.
Because he knows that I've won a lot of money. That juice shit aside, he knows that I've won a lot of money. A lot. And I
Now-
can't help niggas.
Now, y'all listening, you tell me how much you want to. How much do you believe that? How many tickets have y'all heard us put in week after week, and how many times has he won?
I mean,
I just
that's
want you
very
to know
true.
we've gone through 6 major holidays. His emoji has changed 6 times.
That's very true.
It's Martin Luther King this upcoming.
So you know,
Yeah,
y'all
that's
can
very true.
whatever emojis
I
y'all
mean,
think
if you
we
want to
used,
paint
we
false
did.
narratives for them, then cool. You know, and he knows the reason why he called me and asked me is because I've won a good amount of money on a lot of apps.
It's just fun. You just get a rush. That's it. But I don't know
I
if
like
I called
playing.
you and asked you to be like, oh, I'm going to JJ because I know he has a lock. I don't think I've ever.
I gave you a lock.
I don't think
I
I've
gave
ever,
you a lock.
what?
The Bucky Irvin anytime. I gave you a lock. And
Yeah,
you
I
got
think-
scared of it. I
No.
gave him a lock. Nigga, I was saying Bucky Irvin was a lock from Thursday night when
Yeah,
I
but
was
he
with
told,
Yak.
now, see, he told me what you said though about Bucky Irvin. You said
see if he
over
lied.
yards, over receptions, over touch. Like you said, you was
I
taking
said-
Bucky for
I said-
over everything.
I said I would make a Bucky ticket. I said 70 yards, I think, was a line that I set him at rushing. So that shit would have hit because I think he ended up having like 80-something, 82.
77.
Oh, okay. It had 77. I got clipped by 1 catch on the reception and an anytime hit. I mean, cool.
K. Dot.
He's a mark.
And then he put Sterling Shepard on one of his tickets.
Yeah.
And I
tried
was
to get
like, bro,
freaky.
as much as you slander Sterling Shepard's name when they played against us, you expected him to make you some money?
And to be honest, that furthered my wish for what I want on his life. But I'll just leave it there because this is YouTube and Spotify. So I'm going to chill. But yeah, I wanted harm done to him. And I still do. And like I told that nigga, don't come in Charlotte acting like you a tough guy no more. Because we don't know if you living like that. And I personally don't believe it, honestly. But I digress. DPOY. 9-4. 9-4. Ashawn Robinson. Honestly, with the injuries to this unit, to this group, etc., it was just a struggle. And it's hard to pick a DPOY when you give up the most points in NFL history. It's very, very difficult to highlight somebody, a bright spot on a unit that is so bad. But I think Ashawn, what he brought to the locker room as a leader, I think his ability to produce week in and week out, I think his health, I think, what did he miss? Maybe 1 game? Did Ashawn miss? I don't know if he missed any games. Maybe he missed 1 at max 2. I just think that he was the most consistent piece to this defense that continuously produced. So my DPOY this year is going to be Ashawn Robinson, one of the better free agent acquisitions of the offseason. So shout out to the front office for getting that one right.
Me?
Yes.
I don't really know, bro. I'm torn. I'm torn between Josie Jewell. I know he missed a good amount of time, but I think the way that I know I speak for myself, even though you were doing this as well, the way we slandered Josie Jewell's name coming into the season, and then like he ended up clearly just being one of the best defensive players that we had on that unit. He did miss a couple games because he got nicked. He had a concussion and things of that sort. But I mean, he changed my perspective on who he is as a linebacker. And I would say that's one thing that EJ did get right was bringing him over from Denver. Because I think that he will be a really good linebacker for us going forward once he gets some help beside him. So I'm going to say Josie Jewell, but my honorable mention, 2 of them would be, or 3, Ashawn, Ashawn, and then I low-key want to say Mike Jack, even though he's just a guy and pretty mid, like a mid-tier corner. On any other team, but I think with the cards that he was dealt with, the matchups that he had to go against, like he held his own.
Yeah, for me, it was really, 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 really hard to pick out a player to, for DPOY because I'm picking from the worst defense in NFL history. Shout out EJ for that one. So it was really hard to go ahead and pick a player. And I really liked Ashawn, what he brought. I like Josie Jewell, too. But for me, my DPOY is going to be Mike Jackson for all those reasons that you laid out. And not because, in particular, I thought Mike Jackson was the best defensive player on the field at any one point in time this season, but the way that I felt about this cornerback room going into the year, and the way that I was just so, wholeheartedly ready to shit on anything that they had coming out of that secondary, I think Mike Jackson turned out to be a very pleasant surprise coming off the chopping block in Seattle. Very low expectations for the guy, and he came in and I thought played really well, held his own. I was impressed, and so he's going to get my DPOY just for proving me wrong.
And he stuck with a lot of the number ones because for some reason JC can't travel.
Yeah.
So that's why I didn't give it to him. He can't fucking travel.
Personnel.
He don't got it. He don't got it in on the travel.
No, personnel.
Okay, cool.
That's what our coaching staff said. Personnel.
That's what EJ said. EJ
That's
needs
what
to
Dave
be fired.
Canales said. That's what Dave Canales
because
said.
EJ told him he needs to be fired.
Nah, for real. But shout out Mike Jackson for sure. We'll talk next week about one of the main things and some of the people that we need to see back. Little foreshadowing. I need to see Mike Jackson back.
Yeah, and
for sure.
I'd be remiss too to not give an honorable mention to Jadeveon Clowney. All things considered, did have a pretty solid year.
Fair enough. Yeah, I would agree with that. And to be honest, if Juana would have played a full season, we would have had to have a conversation about DJ too.
Yep,
for sure.
That DJ, not the other one, but that one. Yeah, we would have had to think about that a little bit more. So going into the off season, and just give me like 25 seconds. J.C. Horn, is it a guarantee that we need to give him a contract, or are we letting this shit play out like we did the Brian Burns situation? Because for me, I think that you need to pay
contract.
him. Yeah, I think that you don't even fuck with it. Because what did we say the number was? 13? Is that the number that we said pre the season start? We said 13?
I can't remember, honestly.
I think we said 13. And I think he gave us 14 or 15.
Oh, you're talking about games.
Games
Yeah.
It was 13, right?
Yeah, it was somewhere around there.
Yeah. So I think that you give it to him. I think you go ahead and get that done.
New training staff. Hopefully that, absolves some of the injury bugaboos that he's had throughout his career. I think he has had one that was just a freak accident where he broke his hand trying to punch or make a tackle,
in Detroit,
punch the ball out.
Or against Detroit,
Yeah.
And it was cold as fuck.
It was.
Yeah.
I understood why he broke it.
Yeah, literally. I know that shit felt crazy.
Yeah, for sure.
That was a nasty one. But other than that, new training staff, go ahead and pay him before he can hold your feet over the fire. Yeah. And really fucking hit you over the head. Get him while you still have some leverage on him with his health.
Yeah, and I mean, you honestly don't really have a choice because it would be different if you actually went and drafted a corner or you had a corner on your roster to where you would be like, okay, I think with another year of experience, this guy could step into that number one cornerback role. But being that you don't have that, then it's like JC is the only sure number one corner that you have because you don't know what you're going to get in free agency. You don't know what cornerbacks want to come here Being that you're going to have to pay a lot of other positions on that defense and possibly have to go get a receiver, like you just don't know where your money is going to be tied to. So I definitely think that he's like all you have at this moment. So you have to get the job done there.
Cool.
Now, I don't know what the number is going to look like.
That is the real question.
Yeah.
And that's something that we'll talk about next week. So that's something for y'all to look forward to and kind of start thinking about is what number are you going to cap J.C. Horn at? Because that's where the conversation gets a little messy, gets a little sticky for sure. OPOY.
I'll lead off here.
Sure.
I'm going with Chube. I'm going with Chube, man. He had a hell of a season, went over 1,000, solidified himself as the RB1, earned himself a brand new fat contract. Love what Bryce did, but I don't see how you can go anywhere but Chuba Hubbard. He had a phenomenal fucking year.
Yeah, I'm gonna go
outside of that game where he fumbled.
Yes, twice, Germany and Tampa Bay. But
he almost fucking tore his ACL. But continue.
Yeah, I'm gonna go Chuba as well, man. Like Tavian said, hell of a year. A lot of improvement from last year. Even though last year he still had around 900 or so yards last year, but he just took a big leap this year. And I mean, it was evident that you weren't winning any games really if Chuba Hubbard wasn't getting involved. And I think being able to establish the run through a running back like Chuba Hubbard really set Bryce up for success as the season got longer. Just knowing that you have a guy that can get you 4 to 5 yards a pop and, like, making the defense honest. Like, you're going to have to put some players in this box to account for the run. And when you do that, then, I'm going to just throw it over the top. So I think Chuba really changed the dynamic of this offense. And I think that, this is one of the reasons why the fan base got excited with even Jonathan Brooks is because this could be like a Detroit style offense with those two running backs in the backfield with Chuba Hubbard heading the attack. I just think Chuba was a big bright spot this year. Like Tavian said, earned himself a contract. One of the better running backs in the league, top 10 for sure, in my opinion. He deserved that contract, and definitely offensive player of the year for me.
Fair enough. Fair enough. This is one that I struggled with just because, obviously, like both of y'all said, like, it's damn near, like, knee-jerk reaction is Chuba for sure. But I'm going to show the big guys up front some love because I think that Robert Hunt was the offensive player of the year this year. And that's that's not a sexy name. It's not a sexy position. But when you look at this offensive line last year, you look at the lack of efficiency in the run game. You look at the lack of protection in the pass game. You bring in two guys, and I don't want to short Damian Lewis by any stretch of the imagination. However, I feel like Robert Hunt outperformed Damian Lewis.
He brought an attitude.
He brought it was almost like a significant contribution to the culture change in what we're experiencing in Carolina right now. That's part of the reason why I gave it to him, but just the consistency as well. Honestly, I believe that Robert Hunt is by far one of the best offensive guards in the league, just based on the fact that I see you plug this guy in as well as Damian Lewis. Again, I'm going to give him his credit. I really will give roses to the whole offensive line, Brady Christensen as well, because all of those guys did a phenomenal job. But I think that the leadership role Robert Hunt played in the locker room, I think like Tavian just mentioned, the attitude aspect of it. We love dogs. We love killers. I believe that Robert Hunt is one of them ones for sure. The consistency was impeccable. I don't know if he missed any games this season. Maybe he missed one at the end of the year. I know he missed week 18. I don't remember if he missed any other significant games or any amount of significant time. But off the top of my head, I can't remember him being out for any long periods of time. And I just think that offensive line is something that a lot of people don't often talk about until it's a shit one, and guys don't necessarily get their credit when it's due. But Robert Hunt, to me, changed the attitude of this offense. And when we talk about what Chuba was able to accomplish with, the 1,000+ yards in rushing, and you talk about Bryce Young and his jump, and just his from a talent standpoint, from a mechanical standpoint, everything. I think that Robert Hunt plays a significant part in both of those things, both of those players' developments in the season that we saw from both of those guys. So I'm going to say Robert Hunt as my offensive player of the year just because I think he brought something special to that room in particular. So that's my OPOY. And last but not least, MVP. Last but not least, MVP. I will let you kick it off.
Like I was struggling just because I'm like I don't know where to put who where, and I'm gonna go Bryce. I'm gonna go Bryce just because I mean he got benched he got benched 2 to 3 games, but I mean he still led the charge of the offense. Like Andy Dalton won that one game, but Bryce took control, won the rest of the games, and we only have 4 fucking wins, but. Like
5.
We have 5.
5.
Oh,
18.
So even better. So yeah, he really changed the trajectory of this franchise, in my opinion. It's something to look forward to going into next season. And I don't want to reiterate all the things I said with most improved, but I was struggling between him and Adam Thielen just because it was like Adam Thielen. I mean, he's just consistent. He's consistent. You know what you're going to get every time Adam Thielen steps on the field. And I think that he makes Bryce a much better player. But it's like Adam Thielen doesn't get those passes without a Bryce Young at quarterback, without a quarterback being on the same page as him. And so that's why I went Bryce. But Adam Thielen is definitely my honorable mention.
For MVP?
Yeah, I didn't know. Like, it was kind of hard for me to – it was like Adam Thielen, Bryce, and – fucking Chew, which with like the OPOY and the MVP.
Yeah,
I was torn between those 3.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm also kind of torn here. It was very difficult. I want to give it to Chube because he was consistent throughout the year. But when we're talking about MVP, the most valuable player, it can't really go anywhere but Bryce because when Bryce was shit at the start of the year, the team was shit. When Bryce started balling, the team was balling. Like, everything rode on his shoulders, so I don't really see how you can, after watching a season like we just watched and watching Bryce step up and elevate his level of play, and as a byproduct, the entire team elevated their level of play outside of the defense. It's hard for me to go anywhere but Bryce Young as the MVP because the team rose and fell with him. That is quite literally the definition of the most valuable player. So it's Bryce Young.
Okay. Chuba for me. Like you just spoke about the consistency for one. And I just think that he embodies everything a Carolina Panther is supposed to be. Because nobody would even think that we would be having these conversations about Chuba Hubbard 2 years ago. Honestly, one of the best things to ever happen to this organization up to this point is the fact that Matt Rule's wife was in the fucking draft room that night, in the war room that night, that we had the opportunity to take Chuba Hubbard. Because I think that, we've banged the table pretty much for the whole year that we believe that Chuba has been top 6, top 8, top 10, whatever the case may be, one of the top running backs in the NFL by far. And I think that when you look at this team in totality, and what we were able to do this year, or lack thereof, however you want to look at it, you have a lot of confidence knowing going into next year that you have quarterback 1 and running back 1. And running back 1 gives you he gives you a lot. He gives you a lot. I think that the season we just witnessed from Chuba Hubbard, very, very special. Very, very special. And to go along with that, the fact that he was able to get a contract in the middle of the season and we really didn't see much drop-off. Obviously, there was a game or two where, the yards per carry and everything like that weren't what we were used to or what we had been accustomed to throughout the duration of the year. However, the fact that he was able to get that contract and still continue to run the football with the same amount of, nastiness, the same amount of edge, whatever the case may be, I think that's special. I think that says a lot about the character of that player. The reason why, for one, I honestly don't know how in the hell y'all gave Bryce y'all's MVP, but I digress. I was gonna say it was Dick Eaton, but I decided, I'm just not gonna ruin the moment. I'm not gonna ruin the moment. But I think that this offense would look completely different if Chuba Hubbard didn't produce at the level that he did, and the fact that he did it consistently throughout the season was definitely part of the reason, I decided to go in this direction. And really, I was going to give Chuba my OPOY and my MVP, but I felt like that was doing a lot. So I was just like, you know what, I know what I need to do, because shit starts up front, like our producer says, literally every week damn near. Everything starts in the trenches, and if you look at the leader of that room, yeah, you can say Taylor Moton, even though he doesn't fuck with us. You can say Taylor Moton, but Robert Hunt, to me, added something different. And Taylor Moton, that offensive line looked mid last year when he was a part of it. With Robert Hunt a part of it, shit hits different. It really, really does. So Chuba Hubbard is my MVP for the year, and I cannot wait to see what we do next year with those two guys in the backfield.
I'm not mad at that, because I did, like I said, I wanted to give it to Chuba, but I didn't want to give him OPOY and MVP.
Sure.
And for the MVP, like I said, it was just because of the clear, distinct difference that occurred when he was playing like garbage and when he was playing like a top 5 quarterback, and the way that it shifted the entire team's persona, personality, their fight on the field, like everything shifted with that. So I couldn't help but give it to Bryce.
Fair enough. I'm not mad.
Also, sidebar, breaking news. Nah, it's not really breaking news, but apparently Jerry Jones has been in conversation with Deion Sanders for the opening position of the Dallas Cowboys. According to all of my Cowboys beat reporters, there's conversations that are taking place currently for him to be the next head coach of the Dallas Cowboys. So you heard it here first on FPFO.
I heard Jason Witt.
Heard that too, but every beat report, I mean, like up and down my timeline right now is nothing but Deion Sanders and Jerry Jones. I guess Jerry has just recently spoken about already being in conversation with Deion for the opening. So if they do that, I'll let my anger go for the Mike McCarthy firing, because I do still think Mike McCarthy is a good head coach, especially after stomaching 8-8 with Jason Garrett and Coach Clapper.
So y'all going to draft Shador and Shiloh?
I hope so. What
That's the only reason why I asked that question.
Shit, I hope so. I hope so.
Appreciate y'all tuning in, man. I hope y'all enjoyed our 2024-2025 Carolina Panthers Award ceremony. We will be back next week for our season finale. Make sure to like, comment, subscribe, turn the bell notification on so you don't miss that. A lot of great content on the way, a lot of big things coming on the way with for Panthers fans only, the conglomerate, etc. So make sure you're tapped in. Appreciate y'all tuning in today. And yeah, let us know your awards this year. Let us know your MVP, OPOY, UFL. Shout out to Jordan Fuller, man. Oh, that is bad to say.
Shout out to EJ. He should be on that too.
Oh, I have something for you.
Mind in one place, heart in another. Please pardon my brother.
What do you have to say? You were fixing your face.
Yeah, I was about to say. Yeah, let me just see.
We still fucking hungry. Young money got no
Am I able to pay in installments?
I guess. I mean, do I have a choice?
About me. Oh yeah, I must have made it. Rikers Island on this flow. 8 months for that pistol, but at least they had some bad bitches working in that shithole. 3 visits later, I went and did
check it. It's
major.
real.
So fuck the judge and the jury
You want these
and the
$2 too?
litigator.
But I owe you
Watching all these
$2.25.
kids who thought
So
they
I
had
mean,
it figured
yeah, I don't
out.
give a fuck.
And then November came.
They let my nigga out.
Stop playing. I ain't with that bullshit. Niggas
Appreciate
act
y'all
like
tuning in.
bitches. Shanae, oh my goodness. This is Wayne's World, and y'all are just some tourists.